weekend.
You want to get me out of here? Get me out of here.
Get her out. Get us out. Yeah.
The Trump protest riots sparking new protests. Community leaders are speaking out, accusing the city of going on a witch hunt after the Donald Trump protests 2 weeks ago. City councilors also chimed in at tonight's city council meeting where things got heated. News 13's Lizzie Mitri is live at City Hall. Lizzie?
Dean, while some are commending the police department's response to the Trump protest, others say the city isn't telling the whole story about what happened that night.
So it's just really unfortunate how our city keeps being divided and everything that we're doing wrong is on national news.
I mean, we're talking about a group, a very small group. I think the mayor characterized around 30 people. We're really trying to create mayhem.
The protest against presidential candidate Donald Trump that turned violent 2 weeks ago caused some commotion at City Council tonight.
You want to get me out of here? Get me out of here.
Get her out. Get us out.
Get me out.
Community groups claim this violence came only after an aggressive response from the Albuquerque Police Department, pointing to images and video that they say shows APD's horses nearly trampling people.
Really? Really?
I also got hit with some of the smoke grenades, and a lot of the people in front of me were hit with mace.
Stop the high-financed witch hunt by local Trump supporters working in partnership with the Albuquerque Police Department.
The city denies those claims.
It's important to remember that freedom of speech does not mean freedom to commit violence.
City officials supported the police response that night and in the days that followed when police made arrests.
The community does not want to see their officers have rocks thrown at them or have their horses thrown rocks at or jumping up on police cars or fires lit for personal property or windows bashed. And that's not protesting, that's violence, and that's something that shouldn't be condoned.
Chief Gordon Eden and several officers were here at the meeting tonight listening to some of the city councilors' comment on the police response, but the chief did leave before public comment began. Back to you.
All right, Lizzie, thank you. Now, police did arrest 3 people after those protests, including a 14-year-old facing a felony charge for throwing a rock at a police officer. The Albuquerque Police Union filed a complaint against the city and the police department, claiming the department failed to protect its officers during the anti-Trump protests. APD says every one of its roughly 200 officers in downtown that night and the horses were hit by something. The complaint reads, quote, "The department failed to properly provide enough manpower to safely conduct this operation," and says officers were sent out without riot gear.
During the protest, officers started asking the supervisors on scene, can we go in groups back to get our gear, which they were denied.
The mayor's office does not dictate, mandate, control how the skirmish line is produced, what equipment is worn or not worn, and that's ultimately decided by the public safety professionals.
APD would not go on camera, but in a statement said officer safety is paramount and that the city handled those protests appropriately.